What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Injection of Inspiration, where every single Saturday I, Graham G.S.M. Matthews, inject you with your daily dose of motivational advice, helpful tips, all that other great positive shit. Like I talked about last week, school is underway for those of you going back to school, whether it be middle school, high school, college. I'm doing my master's. If you're doing that too, awesome. Or just going back to work, or really, in so many words, the summer season has ended. But the reason I mention that is this. About a week ago, I texted one of my friends who was going back to school for his senior year, a year behind me. I just graduated this past fall, or spring rather. So I texted him about a week ago, right as his school season was about to start up. Just, I hadn't talked to him in about a week or two, but he had said, I had just said, good luck in your senior year, enjoy it, kill it like I know you can, blah, blah, blah. Just a random text out of nowhere. And then he got back to me, and it really got me thinking with what he said, and I thought it would be a great topic for today's installment of Injection of Inspiration. He said, everyone needs a friend who believes in you more than you do yourself. Once again, everyone needs a friend who believes in you more than you do yourself, which I thought was a great quote. Like, I'm not sure if he came up with that himself or that's an actual quote, or he just obviously felt that way. But I thought it was really cool, obviously very nice of him to say that. But it got me thinking, and I don't think I've done a formal topic on it so far here on the show. I'm sure I've mentioned it at some point or another. In discussing who your real friends are and who you should associate yourself with and stuff like that. But people cannot start to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. You have to believe in your own abilities. You have to have confidence. And it's hard to have confidence 24/7. I'm not saying you should. But you need to believe that you are capable of doing whatever you set your mind to. Because I know you're capable, and if I know you're capable in any other instance where I've never met you before and you're not a friend of mine listening to this, that's pretty amazing. That just goes to show that you are capable of doing anything that you set your mind to. If you really, really, really want to do something, you'll find a way to make it happen. I was just reading Chris Jericho's book, which I did get signed by Jericho, and I talked about all that experience last week on the random video blog, cheap plug if you haven't already checked it out. But I was fast-tracking through his book as I've been really, really enjoying it. It's basically like a motivational self-help book, really. And he talks about all these principles that many people have taught him over the years, and people from Vince McMahon to Keith Richards and all these other notable names and whatnot, friends and associates and stuff like that of his. And one of the principles was discussing just that. If you really, really, really want to do something, no matter what it is, whether it's go back to school and get an education or just go to a concert that you've really, really, really wanted to go to. I'm not saying skip over your grandmother's funeral to go to this concert, but I am saying that if you really wanted to go somewhere and the chances of it happening aren't too likely and it's hard to get a ride there or you can't pay for it, if you realize it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience and that experience may not ever happen again, you're going to find a way to make it happen because you are desperate to go. That was me earlier this year with WrestleMania. Of course, that's purely entertainment purposes. I'm not talking about something like life or death here. But for WrestleMania, for me, was the pinnacle. I had never been to WrestleMania before. But it wasn't, the chances of it happening, in my mind, it was always going to happen. There was never a chance that it wouldn't happen. Just because there was a lot of circumstances surrounding the trip in the months leading up to it happening that it didn't look like it was going to happen. It wasn't really a money thing. I knew I could pay for the tickets. I was going to have someone originally go with me. They had to bail out at the last second. Shout out to Jason, who I know is listening right now. He ended up making the trip with me, not because I forced him to, but because he wanted to, and we made it happen. We had an amazing weekend, probably the greatest weekend of my life. It was so fucking fun. So once again, thanks and shout out to Jason for such a great time in Orlando over WrestleMania weekend. But there were a lot of factors. We had to book the hotel, we had to book the flight. I had to buy the tickets, make sure they were there for both TakeOver and WrestleMania. We had to get everything situated. We had to get Jason up to my school so we could leave super early in the morning to catch the flight. And there were a lot of delays going on to the flight and all these other, circumstances that are sometimes beyond our control. But if you really, really want to do something, you'll find a way to make it happen. But moreover than that, getting back to the title of this video, people are only going to believe in you if you believe in yourself. And that goes with any facet of life. There's going to be a lot of people, and I've said this before, that are going to doubt you and your abilities. Well, fuck them. You don't need those people. And if you really want those people in your life because you want to feed off their negativity, that's even that much better. That is even awesomer. That's even greater. To have those people around just to fuel you and your motivation to want to do something, to prove those people wrong, prove the fucking world wrong. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about that before here on the show. But on a more positive level, as opposed to doing something in spite of someone, what I'm trying to tell you is this, that there's going to be a lot of people who don't believe that you can do something, but only you know what you're capable of. Only you know what you want to do, what you're able to do. There's going to be some people, it's kind of the opposite. Some people are going to say, well, you can do this. You can go back to school and get A's all around. And me, I'm just not a straight A student. I'm a pretty good student, which is why I'm going to my master's right now. If I didn't think I was, I wouldn't be doing that. And if I didn't want to, I wouldn't be doing it. But that's happened before too, where people have been maybe not underestimate, but overestimate. Like, you can get A's and all this stuff. I'm sure if I, buckled down and studied every single second of the day, I'm sure I would be able to get A's in all of my classes. But I know that's not me. That's not something I want to do. I'm also not going to fail either. I know my own capabilities. I know my own potential. Some other people may be able to see that in me that I can't see in myself, but for the most part, you have to believe in yourself before anyone can ever believe in you. And that's really what it starts and ends with right there. A lot of people fail to realize that. They're thinking, oh, why doesn't anyone believe in me? If they don't believe in me, then I can't do it. Sure, support is always going to fuel you on. It's going to make you want to do something even more, or even the negativity, depending on what type of person you are. You can't let that negativity drive you down. But what I'm telling you is this, that those people may not believe in you, but you need to make believers out of them by proving them wrong, because you know that you can do it. You don't need anyone else's approval. You don't need anyone else's assurance that you can do something. Of course it helps, but when you don't have that, it doesn't make the task impossible, because if you know that you can do it deep down, then you can do it. It just might take a lot of effort. It might take a lot of time, but you know that you can do it. That's half the battle right there. That's half the battle right there, is knowing that you're able to achieve that task. And once you do that, you could really do anything imaginable, anything you want to. So just keep that in mind. I thought it was a great quote, a great opportunity to talk about that. I also have another quote here I thought was really interesting. Let me pull it up here. Once we believe in ourselves. I don't know who this came from, by the way. I'm looking it up as we speak. You'll probably see the quote attributed to someone when I put it in the video. But the quote says, once we believe in ourselves, we can risk curiosity, wonder, or any experience that reveals human spirit. That's the key that unlocks everything. Once you have that belief in yourself, once you have that confidence that you know you can achieve something, it opens up so many things that attract people to you, attract other opportunities to you. It opens up new doors for you. The curiosity, the wonder, the experience, all of that stuff starts with belief, not from other people, but with yourself. You can do anything by yourself. I've said this a million times before, that having people along the way obviously helps. It's going to be a lot tougher to do anything by yourself, but that being said, it's still possible. And especially if you're not an individualistic person, it's going to be a lot tougher. I understand that. But in due time, if you set your mind to it and you can keep that in mind and you can put that belief in yourself, it will be possible in due time. So keep that in mind. Once again, the quote is this: once we believe in ourselves, we can risk curiosity, wonder, or any experience that reveals human spirit. I thought it was a great quote, a great opportunity to talk about that after my friend texted me that great text about a week and a half ago. Then that goes to what I was saying earlier, or about a week ago when I did this video, or something similar. Of course, another installment of the series, not the exact same video. But to those of you starting school, I wish you best of luck. Obviously, the journey is long between now and next May or June, or whether you're starting college or starting high school, the journey may seem long. It actually goes by a lot quicker than you might think. And it's not a matter of whether you're enjoying the experience or not, because I didn't like high school, yet those 4 years just breezed by, because I was learning so much, not only about academics and shit, but more so about myself. And college was even quicker. Those 4 years went by in 4 seconds. So enjoy the experience while you can. But again, in terms of studying and academics and getting good grades and putting that pressure on yourself, don't let the pressure get to you. Just because people are telling you, oh, you need to pass this class in order to become a success in life. I mean, one class won't kill you. I'm not saying fail it, but what I'm telling you is that just keep every task in mind. Don't let that pressure get to you. Don't even put pressure on yourself also. That's also a big a factor in why people fail is because they put way, way too much pressure on themselves. And some people thrive under pressure. A lot of people don't. Regardless of what type of person you are, try not to put that pressure on yourself if it's not necessary. You do not need the extra stress. You can do it. Set your mind to it. You're capable of anything you set your mind to. The old cheesy, phrase that people have said from time and time again, if you can believe and you can conceive, you can achieve. So keep that in mind as you kick off the school year, going forward, or anything else, whatever endeavor you're embarking on this fall season and beyond. So I'm Graham GSM Matthews, guys. Thank you for checking out the show. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, subscribe to the channel for daily content. We'll be back next Saturday with another all-new installment of Injection of Inspiration. Until then, guys, have a great weekend. I'm Graham GSM Matthews once again, and I'll catch your ass down the road.